Problems are something inherent to every city in our country. As all of us know, the city of Recife deals with many problems every day. However, our difference lies in the people. The difference lies with us. We, citizens of Recife, are stronger than anyone else. I am Artur Maia, a Recifense, and just like all of you, I love my city and I want it to be the best. That's why I feel the need to run for mayor of the city of Recife, capital of Pernambuco. Although we are so proud of our city, one cannot say that Recife is the ideal place to live in. Unfortunately, Recife has plenty of basic areas to be developed, such as housing, public transportation, and sanitation. Housing is a fundamental right according to the UN and our Constitution. However, the current government seems to have forgotten that, because it has spent only 6 million on housing, while 20 million have been spent in advertising, according to Portal de Transparência. Besides that, about 280,000 people don't have a place to live, and 50% of those who have a house live in unsafe areas. For example, my dear maid lived on a hill slope in a neighborhood here in Recife. She knew it was a high-risk area, but she had nowhere else to go. Last week, after heavy storms, the slope slid and dozens of houses were destroyed, including her own house. In a single day, the place she had fought to build during all her life was gone. Luckily, she didn't lose her life too. That won't happen during my tenure. In order to improve the housing situation in our city, I will take many actions as mayor. For instance, I will invest in housing aid and housing complexes that will provide every citizen with a place to live. In addition to that, I will work with startups and NGOs to renovate the slums in our city. This way, every citizen will say, I have a home. Another grave issue that devastates our city is sanitation. It is also a fundamental right, according to the UN, and as housing, the previous mayors have set it aside. As reported by the National Sanitation Information System, only 40% of Recife has sewage collection. The rest of the sewage is discharged into channels and rudimentary pits that end up leading the sewage to the wells we get our water from. Therefore, many people here use contaminated water every day. That opens the door to many avoidable diseases like hepatitis A, diarrhea, and dengue. Unbelievably, the lack of investment in sanitation costs more than investing in it. For this reason, I will increase investments in sanitation, and I will make public-private partnerships to collect and treat the sewage of every corner of our city. Once that's done, the benefits will reverberate for the many generations to come. Thousands of people will no longer get those diseases, besides the many jobs that this effort will create. Apart from housing and sanitation, another grave issue that requires special care in Recife is public transportation. Nowadays, it is unsafe, overloaded, and very slow. According to G1, overcrowding and violence in our transportation system is discouraging our passengers. Even though the amount of people using public transportation has decreased by 10%, the current system is still overloaded. Aside from that, the lack of safety in the subways and buses is alarming. There are about 7 assaults per day and many cases of sexual harassment. For example, Isadora Lima, a 13-year-old girl, was traumatized because of a shocking event she went through inside the bus. There she was, going to her aunt's house, when a man started masturbating in front of her. Sadly, that was not the only time Isadora and many other girls suffered sexual harassment using our public transportation system. I take the bus every day, and I have seen and heard many things. So you can believe me when I tell you that I know how to fix our system. To improve the quality of our public transportation system, I will do 2 things. First, I will invest a lot in modern and safe subways that will serve the entire city. Then, I will collect tolls for cars and motorbikes in the most important avenues in the city and charge more for gasoline and ethanol. Therefore, public transportation will be more comfortable, faster, safer and cheaper than private transportation, so the people are going to use it once again. In the last few minutes, you have seen and heard the commitments I have set with you and with the city of Recife. Now you know the three major problems I will address as mayor: housing, sanitation and public transportation. And it is clear that I can solve these issues with the support of investments, of the private initiative and with your support. Just like you, I see Recife as my favorite child. That means that I really care about our city and I feel totally ready to face the challenges I will have to face as mayor. So, if you think like I do, I ask you to vote for me, Artur Maia. Together, we will make Recife the best city in our country. Together, we Recifenses are stronger than anyone else.